Hello, everybody. Tech Stack here. It works. That's all I can say. It works, right? I went into one of our servers that we have for Minecraft to see about getting something large, and converting that into Blender, and you can see it took it in. It's not flawless, don't get me wrong. I've got issues to work through. It doesn't support every single block in the game yet, or their shapes. This, in fact, probably only has the solid blocks for this. But you can see this area itself, including all the air, was 2,600 some blocks, or 260,000 blocks. It ran for well over an hour to compile this into Blender, but now that it's here, it is just fine. It's one object in Blender, so it's one render draw, I guess. It does have interior geometry, so not the best for performance when it comes to Unity, but I'm not going to use this anyway, this particular scene. This was more of an example of what we can accomplish with this type of tool. Yeah. It works. So, how did I go about doing this? Since last night, when I streamed last, we were having problems with rotations and the facing direction. I've set that up instead now. Instead of rotating the block here, I set a global variable, rotation amount, that would be stored and used when the block gets created, because we get our properties first, then create the blocks. So if we look at our block, we are now setting the rotation Euler, or however you say that, for rotation amount and rotation half. So rotation half was another one that I set up that basically takes whether or not it's on the top of the block or the bottom of the block and rotates it accordingly. It also sets this half offset so that it changes the Z coordinate, or Y in Minecraft terms, coordinate to the proper portion of the block, right? So it moves it up basically. And that's all there is to it, really. I mean, there's a lot of cleanup I did of the code and different checks and things. So now, in addition to looking specifically for sandstone, it's saying if it's a full block is true, it's going to automatically come down and create a full block if it's not these other two top types. So right now, if it's a slab or a stair, only purpur slabs and purpur stairs will work, but we can look for contained stairs or whatever is appropriate inside Minecraft. Because this is a client only mod, I logged into one of my servers that was a 100% vanilla server, got this scan, and it worked just fine. So there's no limitations there where I could go from a Minecraft standpoint to be able to scan things in, other than just being like moral stuff, right? I probably shouldn't go to Hypixel and scan their stuff. I couldn't either. Like, you need to be able to give yourself an item in creative for it to work. Not that there's nothing stopping me from changing that, but that's how I got it set. It's easier to do. What else? We need to add some more blocks, right? Block types and shapes. So let me pull up the Trello here real quick. Oh, I know what else I did. I've also, as part of this, created another procedure that is post cleanup. Post cleanup selects or deselects everything. Then it will go in and we're getting messages. Select the full block prototype that we set up. Set it to selected to true, then delete it. Same for the half slab. Hello. What was that? Discord must disconnect for a second. The half slab and the stairs, it's cleaning up all those original objects. Then it's toggling to select all and setting an active object. This one got me for a bit. I didn't realize that in Blender, if you select everything, it doesn't necessarily make it as an active object, especially when the last thing that you had selected was deleted. So I had to force it to be active, and then I could do this join. So instead of having 200,000 different blocks or objects in Blender, it's doing this join to make them all one solid geometry, like we're seeing here. So to the Trello, like I said. Demon Depths 3D. Boop. So we've got this. We're going to execute from Blender, maybe, probably. But we also have these shapes. So we need a wall, we need a fence, we need snow. Sarfide suggested a trapdoor. I'm thinking iron bars, anvils, because they're a unique shape that could make a nice railing if we set it right for us. End rods, maybe a torch. I'm not sure on that, because do we really need a torch, right? Because we're not going to decorate it with torches. We're probably going to do that in Unity. So let's fire up the mod in the background here. And I'll talk a little bit about what I have in mind of actually using this for. So we certainly could completely design in Minecraft a 64 by 64 area, as tall as we wanted, that was a chunk for Demon Depths in Unity. That's not what I'm intending to do. What I'm intending to do is make it more modular than that, right? So I want to go in Minecraft and I want to make a bridge component. I want to scan the bridge component, make it its own Blender file, use that Blender file in Unity as a prefab to build out the bigger module, right? Because we'll use a bridge section, maybe a cross section in the middle, another one off of that, a turn, to build up the individual modules. That way we can get a lot more out of them, but use Minecraft to get the basic shape down. So I'm going to go into this world. It's good timing that this loaded. And I want to show some of the stuff that I started working on as far as what builds that I wanted to scan. So you can see here I was doing some test stuff, but a staircase, right? So a simple staircase. I probably should have gotten rid of like this. That way it tiles, right? So if I took this thing into Blender and then repeated it on top of itself, it would continue the staircase, right? So those type of activities are nice. We've got a straight section that's 8 long, right? So out to there should be about 8 blocks. 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 gets us out to the 64, right? We've got a left-hand turn here. We've got a right-hand turn here. We've got a 4-way intersection, things like that. So if we scan these in as individual Blender files, we can then use them in Unity as individual components to make up a bigger level design. And then I was playing around with some of the different unique shapes that are in Minecraft that we could use to make some nice things. So like this anvil, we could use something similar, not exactly, right? We're not trying to copy Minecraft here. We're trying to get unique shapes, basically. We could use something like that to make a nice railing. So like maybe not have this bottom piece be so prominent, maybe make just a straight down, but have this connect all the way over to the next block type of thing. What else? Starfight noticed or recommended trapdoors, which is why I put the trapdoors up here. I think that's it. What do you guys think? If you're watching this on YouTube, let me know what you think of this whole thing in the comments. I'm curious if anyone else thinks that this could be useful. That'll probably determine if I ever end up releasing it or if I'm just keeping it for my own thing. If it's useful for other people or not. Go ahead and build this back up. Oop. So we've got stairs. Oh, we need to do the rest of the stairs. So we've got all the orientations of stairs that you can think of set up. So we got the tops, the bottoms, and all the different rotations of those tops and bottoms. But what we don't have is this outer left and inner. Oh, those are all unique to their locations, aren't they? Inner left. That says inner left again. What if we do one over here? Inner left. Inner right. Interesting. So we might need a couple of those. even though they're physically the same shape, we'll need a couple different ways of detecting them, right? For inner left and inner right, both are the same, but they're one's facing to the east. That's a left, that's a left. Let's get one of the rights out. That's a right. So, right. The left inner to the west and the right to the south are the same block. So we'll need to combine them together or look at them as a composite element to determine what it needs to be done. That's going to make it a little bit harder. The location on the shape is the last one too, dang. So we'll need to override the rotation potentially if it's already set. Okay, so let's go set up an area where we can test these out, the different ones, and scan it. That's an inner right, and it was placed like that. So let's place this one this way. It's an inner right, inner left. Okay, so let's see if we can get both of those going. Right click, and a right click over here with a shift, and scan task. Eventually at some point I'll stop using the word test for all these, but for now we're okay. So I'm gonna hit run script. Oh, I didn't get rid of my little run script. Okay, so we've got our objects there. Interesting enough, it didn't actually combine them together for some reason. Failed. Poll didn't work, probably because we were in the wrong mode or something. Let's try again. It was working earlier, I promise. It's because it's not selecting something. Huh. So this is what I was talking about. Everything's selected, but nothing is active, and that's what's triggering that. Oh well, that's not what we're working on right now. Doing this is a nice to have, not a need to have. But doing the rotation of these correctly is a need to have. Got purpose, stairs, shape, straight, 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 straight. There we go. Inner left. So we need to process shapes. We can do elif on this, I guess. Elif key equals equals. Get the word shape. SHAPE. And we'll do shape. Value. Save. So we'll define shape value. Global rote half. Global rote AMT. Yep. Global. So I'm anticipating need to override this. Global half offset. I don't know that one will need to be overridden, but we'll put it in here anyway. So say if value equals equals, and we've got an inner left. If value equals equals inner right. Okay. So we don't know it's a stair yet. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? trying to make these dumb, as it were. And that's why I'm using global variables. So basically what we need to do is, instead of creating this version of a stair, we need to create a different stair object. So we might change this line out dynamically, or these two lines out dynamically, to be a different copy of the stair, like an inner stair, based on what we set in here. And I think the easiest way to do that is just create a variable that says shape. It will be a string, and we're just going to cache whatever the shape is to that global variable value. And we're going to take those out, and we'll say global shape. And shape will be used in stairs if shape equals those values we just copied a minute ago. L if shape equals inner left, and then else that, right? I'm assuming that's how else works in this. So just take this, put that in there. Come on. Why aren't you going to the beginning? Oh, you are. Okay. And we need to say global shape in process in here. We need to reset it to a null value, basically, or a simple string, right? That way, when we go to the next block, it doesn't continually to rotate them all the same way. Okay. Now we need to set up what our stairs looks like for these other types of stairs. So we're going to do all of this. So there's our second copy of a stair, and we're going to say stairs, stair inner right, inner right, and then we'll create another one, and that one will be inner left. Copy that, and so we're on inner left, we use this stair instead. On inner right, we use this one. Left, inner, right. And now we need to modify these to make them the shape that we want. Because they're both inner, they're technically the same shape, right? We just might go ahead and rotate them or something up front. So it's our stair with an additional cube. So we can create this portion again, move it over on one of the axes, I don't know which, half a block, and shrink its width to half. That should take care of it. So right here we're creating a primitive cube. We need to do that again. Its location is getting set. Its layer is getting set. Blender has a lot of layers. Okay, that's it. Then we need to take that and resize it. Doing that resizing is going to give us the size that we started with for the block that we're dealing with. Is quarter width? I guess so. It would be a quarter. But then we need to do a quarter in the other direction, which would be this one. And then we need to translate it. The original translation was moving it to the X position by a quarter. I think we need to move it the other X direction by a quarter. And in the Y direction by a quarter as well. And then we resize the size again. Why are we resizing that thing so much? Okay, let's just try it like this, see what we get. So we already know that this was bugged out where it didn't do the join, and that's probably for the better right at this moment. So let's get rid of all those, run the script, and it gets an error. Cool. 150. The script's getting big. Okay, so we got our different stairs. So if I focus on those, and let's grab the whole thing, move it off. Okay, what do we got going? Okay, so that is our new object, obviously. It needs scaled. I need my, come on, scale, X, Y, scale Y, 0.5, 0.5. Why is it scaling from down there? Let's see, so if I subdivide that, it'd be right there, and if I subdivide it again, it'd be right there. So I think it needs to be cut in a quarter width. So this was the one we were doing, right? Inner right, yep. Translated it. And then resized it by half. Resized it again by another half. Do those same two things, I guess. And then we translated it in the Z coordinate, which moved it up, which we'll need to do. But we'll also want to move it in another direction too. But let's get this first. Select everything, delete, run script. And we are working with inner right at the moment. Okay. Almost there. So we need to scale along the y-axis. So x 0, half in the y, just like that. It's probably not the final thing, just one step at a time. Okay, get our inner right. Yeah, okay. Oh. We scaled them to 0 on the X and the... There we go. And then we need to move it along the y-axis half. Zero 0.5. Run script. And our right. Oh. Yeah. Move it a whole one? That doesn't seem right. Didn't move it at all. Let's see if we have any errors. We do. Line 177. Error types, str object is not callable. Oh, okay. It's because we're using the same same variable name as a def function name. Thought process. Process shape. Yeah, I didn't think that would change our actual result here, though. Oh, it's actually creating the inner rights now. Okay, and if we go to edit mode, we've got the block down there. So we do need to move it up and... What? The constraint axis stuff. That's what it was. It wasn't letting it actually do what we were telling it. X delete. Run. There we go. So we need to move it forward. Let's do this. Come on. Grab it in the Y direction. So if we said 0.75, it's either 0.75 or 2.5. Select everything, delete everything, run. It was 0.25. Delete, run script. There we go. It's exactly what we want. Cool. So now we basically take all this up to the toggle edit mode and put it in our other object as well, because they're basically identical. I'm keeping them as separate objects for the moment, anticipating that one needs to be rotated different than the other. Let's delete this. Actually delete everything. Run. So our original inner right and our original inner left are the same. if we look down below, down here, our inner left is correct and our inner right is incorrect. And this is what I was talking about. We can just edit it all at once, right? So if we, now that we've built the whole geometry, take and do the select all trick on it. Somewhere in here it's already set, so I'm just looking for it. Let's do it this way. I'm gonna go to edit mode. And I'm gonna do select all. There it is. Copy that. And this is our inner right. We need to do this too. Select all, and we're gonna rotate along the Z-axis 90 degrees. And select that. There we go. Save, and then we're going to toggle back out of edit mode. Save. Okay, let's try it. Select it. Everything. Delete everything. Save. Run script. So get our one up here in outer space. They're identical. Why didn't the rotate take effect? We were already in edit mode from up here. So we went out of edit mode actually. That would screw with it. Let's try it again then. So select all, delete all, save, run. Okay, we've got this object. We don't have the right Y. Line 52 aired off because I got an extra A there. Still didn't rotate, did it? Alternatively, we just create it different, right? So instead of that object being the dot, if it were, as it were, make it go over here, and this part of the object, instead of it being scaled like that, we just make it scaled this way. So let's try that approach. So we'll get rid of the rotate because apparently it doesn't like it. We had rotates, a problem with rotates before, and I ended up fixing it by just doing it as part of a different way. So the main block's up here. We're adding the additional block here. We are scaling it to 1/4 on its x-axis. I think we need to scale it to 1/4 on its y-axis instead. And then we're translating it in the x. We probably need to translate it in the y instead. I'm just going to flip the x and y for all of these, I think. Then we're going to resize it another half. Do 1. Those two can be the same. We're still going to scale the same on the z or a vertical axis. Same down here for translation. These two are the same amounts. Those two get to be flipped. These two get to be flipped. And 1.25. 0. 1 and 0.5. Save. Save. Run script. And we get this huge monstrosity. Cool. So let's look at our geometry here. Okay, the easiest way to debug this is just to do it one at a time. Do we toggle edit mode off? We do. Save. Run again. Okay, so that's our big object that we're seeing there. Do we create it with a specific size? Yeah, we don't. Okay. So we just use resize for that. Surprised it did that though, because the first resize should be to a quarter of original block size. So let's do this. Add a cube. It's nowhere near. So let's grab it, Z500. It's up here by it now. Yeah, so it's like the resize didn't take place or something. Oh. Yeah, the only resize that took place was a vertical one. $189 failed. Oh, that's from the Blender file. So 229 failed in our code. The join, yeah, that's fine. Oh, those don't stack. Do they? Like if we resize by 0.5 and then resize by 0.5 and then resize by 0.5, is it going to reduce it in half each time, or is it going to stay at half when it's all said and done? I bet that's what it is. So let's do that. Can we get a full-sized block that doesn't look like it's been resized at all? The constraints. Dang those constraints. That's what's wrong with all this, though. So when I do my manipulation in Blender, I typically am holding or hit the Z key, for example, if I want to move it vertically. And that causes a constraint on that axis, these true or false values you're seeing next to the word constraint axis. And that's what's giving us the pain in the butt. Oop. Right enter. Really close. I'm not sure what's up with the size of the one's offside block, but we can figure that out quick enough. So we've added it here. We resize it to a quarter of its original size in both axes. Then we translate it. Then we resize it by half. Then we resize it over and over again. So this one was valid. This was valid. That's valid. They're all the same commands. Oh, we took the constraints off, so we're no longer constraining to just one axis when we're doing some of these. So the 0.5 was true and true. So the last two were true before. Now all of them are true, which is okay. True, false, false. So this one. Was only picking up the first move, not the second move. Or the... Wait, are we looking at the same thing? Or not? It was only moving in this direction, not this. So we can say 0 there. That should get our location to be correct. Then our sizing, true, false, false. So this should be 0. No. This should be 0. Object mode, select all, delete, save, run script. And we're close. Wait, no, we're not. We are close. This is correct, but this needs to be on this end instead of this end. Okay. Let's do this. And we need to go in, what, negative? I don't know. We're going to keep it where it is and just start from scratch. We'll get it that way. Okay, so inner right. We take that outer box, scale it Z to 0.25. Scale median point, scale 0.25. Okay, then we need to scale the Y, 0.25. Scale the Z, Y, 0.25. So we can scale everything 0.25. Let's do just that. Cat song. Okay, it should get it that size. And in order for this to be different, we need that block to go back this direction. So grab just this, and then grab it along the X and move it negative 0.25. That's exactly what we need to do. Negative 0.25. And grab on the Y, 0.25, negative. Okay. I'm gonna copy that one. Paste the one in, get rid of the constraining axis and move it in both. Negative 0.25. Okay. Save. Delete everything. Run. Get a different view here. So this is our inner right object. Our inner left object. So our inner right. What is wrong? So everything is right except for the... We didn't translate it up. He's got 0.5 up. I'll get it. I'll get it. Persistency. There we go. Now, if we look down below, it's not in the right corner, but what would we need to do to it to fix it then? Oh, right, there's a rotation applied to this versus the other one. Did we just make it so that the rotation's no longer needed? I'm not really sure. So process shape. This is an inner, right? Let's just turn off rotation amount. Temporarily. Global rot amount. Run script. Okay, so let's try this. That didn't work either. Control Z. Oh, great. Rotation amount plus whatever the amount for 1 radian is. Degrees to radians. 90. That amount. There we go. So we manipulate it until it gets in the right rotation. Now, could we do that with just one straight inner? Stair inner? Probably. Let's try it. That's all it's about, is it's a different rotation of the same thing. So let's get rid of straight stair inner right for now. Gosh, that's a lot of redoing though if I have to redo it. So let's comment it out. Just so we don't get it added to the scene. And we will name this stair inner instead of inner left. And in here we'll say stair inner on both of these, but rotate the one and not the other. Select all, delete, run script. It's going to be wrong. We've got the wrong rotation amount. So if we do this, run. That's probably right. Oh, so we'll just do a negative amount then. This needs to be 180 from where it's at now. There we go. Just test the crap out of it, make sure it works good in all situations. Because we're just taking the east north facing inner right, and this is a east facing inner left. What about a south facing inner whatever? Let's get them all like that. So is that an inner right, inner right, inner right, inner left, inner right? Okay, so scan those. Those are all right. Let's switch them all over to inner lefts now. Inner left. Inner left. Inner left. Inner left. I finally figured out what Minecraft means by that. Only took looking at them forever. Appears to be working. Okay, so let's do the same for the top half of the blocks, right? Because these could be on top of something. What am I doing here? I'm just getting them so I can place them. Let's see. So we need... Guess we'll break this bottom stuff up so we can see them, right? When we're in Blender. So are we inner rights, or inner left? Inner left, inner left, inner left. We need to scan that. Need blocks to scan again, please. Boop. Boop. Scan test. Run. And we get jarbled mess. Now, is that because that's how it actually looks in Minecraft? I didn't look at the bottom of it, did I? Seems like we just need to rotate them 90 degrees or something when it's upside down. It looks correct in Minecraft. So they all need to be rotated positive 90, positive 90, positive 90, positive 90. Okay. So these are the inner... We don't say if it's right or left anymore. Cool. They are inner lefts. So our inner left code, if it's a top half, needs to rotate 90 degrees. Positive 90 degrees. So in here, we need to say if rot half equals greater than 0? Yeah, row half is greater than 0. Then rot amount equals rot amount plus 1.5708 for 1 radian. There we go. And to be sure I did it right, let's take these lefts, right, like we've got them. So this, yep, to the left. That'd be this, and this. Left, 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 left. Yep. Always want to left click with it to do that, but that's not what you want to do. All right. Run script. And that looks good. The bottom looks good. Let's do the rights then. Instead of the lefts. So it's rotated to the right, rotated to the right, rotated to the right, rotated to the right. To the right. No, that was left. Right, 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 right. Oh, that's left. Okay, scan again. Boom. Top's good, bottom's messed up. So we need to do the same type of check on the inner right and modify the rotation by a different amount there. Looks like we don't rotate at all in that scenario. So else, so if rotation half is greater than 0, we don't do anything to the rotation. But I might code this. If rotation amount equals 0, then we do something to it. There we go. So that's for the bottom halves. Okay, let's try again. Run script, and we get an error. Probably because we need equals. Okay, bottom half looks decent. Top half looks decent. We've got stairs, inner corner stairs working. Now, there's one other flavor of stairs. It's the flavor that is the outer corner. So we've got 2 stairs like this, and we put it like that, right? So we're going to have to do the same type of deal. We basically take this and just get rid of its little knob, or its long piece, right? We just keep the knob there in one corner. So let's do that. We will find our stairs inner. We will create a stairs outer. 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 And the first primitive cube is the one that's the longer of the 2. So let's get rid of it. Save. Control up. Then we need to set that type of shape, which we are already setting here. And in our stair creation piece, then for its shape, where are we? We just say outer left and outer right, right? Let's go ahead and set up our shape in Minecraft first, I guess. So that's the definition of what it looks like. Let's do the top halves down here like we did before. So it's going to be around an object instead. So we need an object in the middle. Get our 4 sides. And if we get F3 on, we do it like that. That's an outer left. Left. And left again. Left again. Do the middles. And to the left. To the left. To the left. So we can just do another scan then. Look here. Move that. And create 2 more else ifs in here. If, and we look at this, it's going to say outer with 1 T, spelled a different upstairs above. Oops. Outer. Just leave it like that, assuming the same type of rotation deal is going on. And run script. Okay, and this is the left ones, right? Yep. Looks like everything needs rotated additionally. We rotate along its z-axis 90 degrees. That looks to be right then. That was a positive 90 for the rotation on the upper half of a left. So we could say a second rotation then. There we go, that fixed those. Then for these need to be rotated 90 degrees along its z-axis negative amount. So 90 less when they're not on the top. And then I guess we just say else, if, just else, rotation amount equals rotation amount minus 1.58, 1.5, blah, blah, blah. You don't like me. $144, didn't like something here. Syntax error. There we go. Top's looking good. Bottom's looking good. We got that one down. Okay, now we need to do the other style of corner, right? So these were lefts, we need to do the rights. So if we grab the top block, Oop, no. Oop. Outer right, outer right, outer right, outer right. Scan you in, see what we get. Get a jarbled mess again. So outer right is here. So if it is on the top half, we are currently, maybe if it's on the bottom half, that's what that means. We are currently rotating you negative 90. So if we rotate 90 along the Z, we want to go twice negative 90 then. Okay, and then along the bottom, rotate you 90 along the Z. We need to get a negative or a positive rotation going on for those. So if or else rot amount equals rot amount plus 90, plus 1.5708. Boom. All 4 directions, top and bottoms, all different staircases, shapes are supported now. Whew. Now, Next up, let's make sure we can support all stairs. So we did all stair shapes. Let's do all stair blocks now. Let's clear this survival inventory. Okay, let's go to here and say stair. We got all of these stairs. Oak stairs, stone stairs, brick stairs, stone brick stairs, nether brick stairs, sandstone stairs. I know you're probably getting tired of hearing me say this. I will stop saying it, but they're all ending in the word stairs. All of them. So, in order to do that, what I need to do down here is, instead of specifically looking for purple stair or purple stairs here, I'm going to do contains, I think it is. Dot contains stairs. So if anywhere in the name of that Minecraft block it says stairs, we're gonna set it to stairs. That's all there's to it. So let's test that now. I promise this is gonna be the last time I'm dealing with stairs tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4. Specifically stairs. Oop. Come on, just get in there. Okay. That was through those, so we need... We gotta know purple is working. I'll throw purple in there for good measure. And then just scan again. And we should get stairs everywhere, basically, right? Or we're gonna crash. Contains, okay. Python string contains. Oh, in, what? I could check if Python string contains another string. It's just in. Okay. I was wrong. The stairs is in block name. There's all of our stairs. I don't even know if it's worth me bothering to check at this point, because we know that they're all there. Cool. So, what do I go from here? There's still other shapes, of course, we want to deal with. There's probably want to do the same thing with our slabs, right? So if we look in Minecraft for slabs, slab, we've got all these different types of slab. Oh, it's slab 2, but it contains the word slab. Yeah, so I'm going to do the same thing for slab, and then we get full support for slabs as well. So block, if slab is in block name, we get full block support for slabs now. And we've already got full cube block support by having this, right? So if it's sandstone or if it's a full block, it's just gonna go in there. In fact, there's probably not much reason for me to have that at all, and just go with just the true false variable, whether it's a full block. Now there might be some blocks that are quote full blocks in size, but they're not full blocks from a Minecraft perspective. let's see if we can go with like glass might be an example of it. Don't know if the F3 screen shows it. Let's see. It does not. So that might be a little bit different. Let's put a bunch of glass in. Put all around the edges here so we know where it is. Okay, and let's scan again. And get rid of everything. Run the script. We don't get any of the glass because glass doesn't show. It's not a full block to Minecraft. It's a transparent block. So let's look at the names of these. There's nothing in this that says it is a full block, right? So I can't just say block. Crafting table doesn't say block. It might just need to be a big fallout condition, right? So if it's a not stairs and not slab, it's this. That would work, right? So we just say else. Put a comment in here. Assume full block then. Right. Wait, else if block name does not equal Miencraft air. We never want to make a block for air. I think it's lowercase m. It is. That would have been bad. That would have grabbed everything. But a big old cube. Okay, there's our glass blocks then. So what's next? Next up, I want to start working with materials in Blender. I'm not sure how that exactly works when there's multiple objects that are sharing the same mesh data. I don't know if they share the same material. So let's test here. I am on the wrong tab. I'm going to be on this tab. I'm going to add a new one here. I'm going to add this, and we're going to make it say green. Awesome. None of the other ones went green. So there's hope for this then. So when we did this, we said, gosh, can we clear this? No. Let's do it to another one. So we're going to add a new material. Material slot add. We're going to say new to it. That adds a new material. And then rename the material. Green. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Those are the pieces I wanted to know. So if I do those three actions, if I copy that, and that was in object mode on this object, right? So let's do not post cleanup, not process block. Let's do def process what's the word I'm looking for? Mats. And we're going to take a block name as our input. And we're going to do those operations, which is not those first two. We're going to add a slot, add a material, and we're going to give it a material name. And the material name is going to be, you guessed it, block name. And then we're going to say process mat block name right after we create all of our blocks. So we'll want to do it in here, we'll want to do it in here, and we'll want to do it in here. I didn't just put it there because if it's air, we don't want to add the material to an air block or add another material that is the name air. Okay, now let's try that. Run script, errors, awesome. So let's find out what the error is about. Line 201, process mat. Object has no attribute name. What? We just seen that it did. Oh, Blender. Why? Is it because it's no longer an active object? Do we need to set the material when we're creating the block? I mean, we can certainly do that. So up here and create blocks. This half slab block is its own object, right? Yeah, it's a context object. Okay. Well, let's try that. Where do we put process block or process material at? It's right here. So instead of in there, we're going to move it up to creation of the block itself. And we're going to say instead of copy stairs, we're going to say that there like that, right? And we're going to put the block name in there. Which means this needs a block name variable. Block name. Block name. Block name. And these slots. Copy the slab. There we go. So what I'm hoping this will do for me is they will be shared materials. I don't know if that's an appropriate term for what I'm talking about. But I'm hoping that it will be, and then we'll be able to set that material in Unity to an actual texture. Save that, delete everything, run our script, we air off. Line 214. Oh, right, because we have no definition now for this. We actually need that. And down here, this is no longer a thing. No longer a thing, no longer a thing. And we need to pass it in block name as well. Save. Run script. We get an error. None type object has attribute name. Has no attribute name. 113 and create full block. It's the same stinking line, isn't it? Kind of really need the name to get set. I'm gonna quickly do a Google search for it and see what we get. Add material object and name it. Add material to apply diffuse color via Python. Sure, but do you have a name on it? That's the important part. Material new, context object, active material, diffuse color, blah blah blah. Material new. Oh, really? You just give it a name when you say material new? That makes it easier. Makes more sense too, because why would you create it and then name it later? From code, you can just do it all one step. This also frees this up to not have to use the name of the object then. Cool. Still airs off. Keyword name not recognized. Instead of using this, I needed to use this. So then they're doing what now? Data materials. Oh, it's doing it different. BPY data materials. I'll try it. Materials new. Love how like Blender has this great little tool up here that tells you what the commands are it's doing, but they don't seem to actually work in scripts. Blend data? 112. Materials. Okay. Seems like it's adding it to the wrong object somehow. It's like this one got a bunch of them, right? It also didn't name them. Let's look up at the full block, that's fine. What about the stairs, the prototype stairs? That one got one. It didn't create the actual material slot though. Adds a material to the object. Okay. Sets active object to a variable. Active object. Need to put this in its own function. It's becoming quite a long. Still didn't work. Although we have purple stairs and glass and grass and all this crap. So this needs to be its own thing. It needs to have a lookup table to see if it already exists and then pull in the material that already exists if it does. Right? Because I don't want to create 10 versions of sandstone, for example. Right? I want to create one material named sandstone and use it across multiple objects. So I'm going to save that for another night. This has been fun though. I've enjoyed it. Hopefully someone else out there is interested in this as well. I will catch you guys all later. Bye.